Here is what our winter ascent of Rysy looked like. We started around 5 am from the parking lot at Palenica Białczańska. From there, the long and boring asphalt road leads to Morskie Oko Lake. But we were very excited anyway, because this was going to be our first independent winter climb after the mountaineering course. Rysy was also the first mountain I ever climbed many years ago, so it's kinda a special place. And if you are wondering why I'm doing push-ups on the summit, it started as a bet with my friend and eventually became our tradition every time we climb Rysy. When we finally reached Morskie Oko, the frozen lake looked stunning. We quickly crossed it and headed toward the next checkpoint, Czarny Staw. But the higher we got, the worse the conditions became. Strong wind and the summit completely hidden in clouds didn't give us much optimism. Still, we kept moving forward, hoping the clouds would disappear before we reached the top. We moved onto the bulge under the Rysy, another checkpoint with a great view. A perfect place for a quick break for some food, hydration and putting on some extra layers, because it started getting colder. In winter, the route goes almost straight up through a narrow couloir. The trains are buried deep under the snow and the usual route doesn't really exist. You go through a steep corridor, just climbing higher and higher. If an avalanche went through there, it would probably take everything in its path, but it looks amazing. Pros and cons, I guess. For those who have never been there and don't know what can happen, this is what happened to a guy just one day before our climb. After a few hours and a quick interaction with some ski tours, we finally reached the summit. And with a bit of luck and the perfect timing, the clouds cleared and we actually got some views. We spent only about 10 minutes at the top because of the wind and then started heading back down. But before that, we had to take a few shots and do the push-ups. Had to keep the tradition going. The descent was fun too, especially with all endorphins kicking in. Because we did it. We climbed Rysy, the highest peak in Poland. Follow for more stories like that.